I can say I'm feeling nice. I can't say saucy anymore. Nice on a Wednesday night. Hump Day Edition, Outlaw Radio. Shut them down. Kevin Barnes, man, the mouthpiece of the movement. Militant with a microphone, aka the Negro Whisperer, certified professional life coach, Negro Whisperer.
Yay.
Right. Whatever that means. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, man. Shut them down. To me, a very declarative kind of show tonight. A show with an attitude, if you will. There's a number associated with the show, 262-202-5131. And look who's early tonight. Juice Lady, what it do?
Hey y'all, look, I need a whole intro to name all what I do. Wellness practitioner, holistic wellness counselor, peer support specialist, Courtney Francois.
Yeah, man. I'm sure the crew will come along. Shout out to Courtney and the Village organization that she runs. Holler at her about it. Man. Mondays and Wednesdays, okay, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do want to make this point as well. If you have somehow attached your Facebook to our show, and there's notifications that normally come out, but you don't get them, I don't control that. So, and I never know who, you know what I mean, is getting notifications. But I will say, if you don't see it, just come check on a Monday or Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Until whenever we choose to cut the machine off. So just check for us. We're here. And sometimes you might not get a notification because we ain't doing no show. And you might notice that we're not doing a show. So you can get a notification. Either way it go, follow up. My boy Rail, what is this now? What's the name tonight, Rail? What's going on?
Fonzarelli.
Yeah,
like Arthur.
That is by far your best one yet.
Oh, okay.
I think we're on to something. I want to christen that name for you on the show. Okay, Fonzarelli. Sure. I like that. Fonzarelli. Reach Doctor, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
What up, y'all? I'm on time, damn near, right? So I guess I can go on into it, man. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Welcome to talking to definitely get off that ball. Crazy vibrations and elevate thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher. I'm the hood healer. I'm the ghetto witch doctor. I'm all y'all holistic health and wellness coach. Y'all better come on in.
That's right, Kumar.
Black businesses. Support. All we got is us. Y'all got to understand this, especially in a time such as now. The city of Milwaukee has become a crack whore for Madison. We are on our knees. Remember Menace to Society? He said, man, I got these cheeseburgers. He said, man, I suck you. The city of Milwaukee has become that. This is basically what the city of Milwaukee went to Madison and said, please, man, I suck you. That's what yeah. And once again, it was passed. We've discussed it. We always talk about the inevitability of everything, right? Certain things that we talk about as if they're going to happen have already happened to us. I believe we've approached that topic before, Kamar. I believe we've talked like that. Like, well, this has already happened. People arguing like it ain't in effect. So we kind of knew that this bill would be signed. This tax hike, this increase, this controversial legislation that's been placed upon us. We kind of knew because for the most part, our elected officials are with the go along to get along gang, right? Like they believe in unified dysfunction. So we knew it would pass, but some people drew a line in the sand. A couple brothers and sisters down there was a little more brave than I gave them credit for. And we're gonna talk about that tonight on Shut 'Em Down, Outlaw Radio. Shut 'Em Down. Share the show. you want to know how to support us, share the show. I like to get as many people involved in this conversation as possible because I want to know how y'all feel. There was more to this than just a simple passing of some legislation. This has effects, and this also makes a statement. How y'all doing, man? I got the children of the diaspora with me tonight, just in case you ain't peeped my tribe. Foundational Black Americans, right? This is what we do. So if you're with that kind of conversation, then you can rock with us. Even if you're not, you can rock with us. Call in if you got an opinion. The number's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So this legislation, I figure I'd start right there. Because I want to talk about what shut them down means, right? What y'all think about this? And I don't want it to be as simple as, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I really don't give a fuck. It don't affect me. Yada yada yada. Because it made a statement. So I just want to know how y'all feel. Anybody, jump in, like Star State.
Well,
it's popping.
Well, shit, Kev, you know me, man. I just say, man, you know, hey, I can't help but to give you an answer similar to what you don't want to hear. You know what I mean? Because that's where we got to take this shit, dog, as a community. You know what I mean? As people, like, you know what I mean? It ain't just they gonna do what they gonna do. You know what I mean? They don't do that. But the thing is, the bottom line is we got to work on ourselves. We got to get our money up. You know what I mean? We talk about all the different shit that's going on, talk about it in the community, like with the gentrification, you know what I mean? Money is going to fix that. If we could get our money together, you know what I mean? We going to be all right. They're going to raise them prices. Eventually, we going to get in office and we going to start getting the shit we want. We going to learn to pay for these motherfucking votes. You know what I mean? We're not pay for the votes, but pay for the politician. You know what I mean? To get what we want. We got to learn the game, man. Everybody else playing the game but us.
Inside of all of that, and I love your real solid effort to not be vague. I appreciate that, brother. I'm glad you didn't give me that, add water and run with it. Says, hey man, it is what it is, and we're gonna be able to do what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna tell you why, because you just said something that's very important. We always cry about the game, right? We always cry about it. We don't participate in it. If we know owning politicians and having people higher up that can become people who are gatekeepers for you, why don't we do it? We sit around crying about the shit. Well, they got this and that. We should be active in the bullshit as well. I feel like the Foundational Black American Political Party is about due. I think that's what it should be called. The FBA Party, the Foundational Black American Party, right? Fonzarelli, his new name. I love the new name, by the way. Fonzarelli, man, what you think? And I want to say this too. I don't want nobody on listen to this show talking about you don't give a fuck, but you work. You don't give a fuck, but you pay taxes. You don't give a fuck, but you own a property. If you're financially invested in this city, you should give a fuck about this, my brother. So what you think about this, Fonzarelli?
Man, shit. I feel that all tax is theft.
Okay.
That's just shit. Whether it was the hike or stayed the same, I don't want to pay that shit. I work. It make you feel like you being pimped. You know what I'm saying? You working and another motherfucker see your money before you and then hand you what he think you should have type shit. That never sat well with me. You know what I'm saying? So
you definitely can.
Oh, most definitely, man. And then, I don't know if y'all ever fuck with looking into that straw man shit. How it say that, when you born and get a birth certificate, you basically become a corporation. Mm-hmm. And they say that the government basically uses your body, your person, as a collateral towards the debt that they in, saying, hey, in this person's lifetime,
national debt,
right. So all that shit is bullshit to me. That's why I've always been talking about this sovereignty shit and learning how to grow our own and produce our own. And that's all we could do. But I just right before we hopped on, I ran and caught that lotto ticket, so I don't plan on working too much longer anyway.
That's motherfucking right, real.
That's his solution, right? Okay.
750 million.
And
money flowing to me easily.
So okay, so
Right.
even when I get to the juice lady, you all are entrepreneurs, and one thing that people as they acquire wealth and they become wealthy, especially through their own kind of entrepreneurial pursuits, they become more aware and more keen of how the system works because it affects your bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want anybody out there to say I don't give a fuck because I'm an entrepreneur. Well, bad legislation is bad legislation because what happens when they come after you with some tax laws that change, or they could, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they can make it hard for you with your getting your permits and all this kind of sheep shit, right? So, Juice Lady, what do you think about this forced uh crackhead move on the part of Milwaukee to get on their knees for Madison?
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like none of that shit. But I also feel like no taxation without representation and shit. We ain't never represented. So what the fuck? Don't be
Right.
taxing me if you ain't never gonna represent me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my
Well,
spiel.
I keep saying, thank you, by the way. I keep saying that it was a statement on the behalf of a group of people. And it wasn't just that, okay, you got this tax hike and financially it doesn't make sense and it hurts us in some, but the stipulations placed up on it were like an extra fuck you to the people of color in Milwaukee. It was like, yeah, bitch. And I'm keeping this your money. Like I said, you playing with house money. It's our money anyways. You have billions of dollars in budget surplus that
Hey,
you make
that's how they
Milwaukee
do it.
get
They
on
do
their
it.
hands and knees to get fiscally straight. I got some for our black seven too. All these black elected officials that we got. Don't get me wrong. I know that this was a shitty pot when you took it, but it has gone asunder under you. Credit rating down, damn near on the fiscal, and everybody's known that this shit was coming. I don't see construction stopping downtown. I
No.
don't see the buildings stopping in the surrounding suburbs in the wild counties. I see you with a budget surplus. So Milwaukee was made a bitch of. Milwaukee gets smacked around like a bitch by Madison. I think he was trying to put it in
Always.
Kamar. Excuse my offensive language, but
No, I was
this
just
is how
saying
I
that's how they
feel
do us
about
in
this
all
bullshit.
aspects. I was just saying that's how they do us in all aspects. You know what I mean? Even all the way down to the parking tickets when they tow your fucking car because you got 2 tickets on the street that you done paid taxes for out of some money that they done took taxes out of already. You know what I mean? They treat us
Yep.
like little fucking bitches and hoes and shit like that, and they the pimp.
You're
Yeah.
getting gangbanged. If you're a citizen of Milwaukee, you're getting gangbanged. That's what this experience is like. And you got the county saying, yeah, well, we need some money too, but you got wheel tax, you got luxury tax, you got a counter tax. A goddamn bottle of water at the zoo costs $26. The fuck you talking about? You got this county stadium, they saying, we need some more money to fix the stadium, but we've just found out, we're still paying the original stadium tax that was implemented years ago when they said we building Miller Park, right?
Is that when that
Gang
crane
bang.
fell?
Say that again.
Is that when that crane fell and like
Yeah, Big
somebody
Blue.
died or something? Oh,
Big Blue,
okay.
Mitsubishi. Yeah, world marvelous. One of the 7 wonders of the world. It's the biggest crane ever. That shit fell. Boom. Fuck was up. Ah! Fucked up everything. People got sued. So yeah, man, this is a gangbang. If it sounds nasty, if it sounds offensive, I hope it is. I hope people in Milwaukee feel offended by this shit. Once again, there was many other ways. I felt like this could have been a stare down in which Milwaukee wholeheartedly lost. It looks as if we are going quietly into the night. Get your ass back out there in that corner. Okay, daddy. This is what it's like right now to be a Milwaukeean. And because the state is bullying us, basically. I mean, think about it like this. We know that years ago, Scott Walker took a bunch of money from the city of Milwaukee to deal with the housing crisis, right? Remember we had the housing crisis? Oh, he bitch slapped Milwaukee. Scott Walker, Skippy Walker, he constantly slapped the shit out of Milwaukee every time he got a chance. I don't know if it's because he was going bald in the top or he just knew we wasn't fucking with him here or something. He just had a thing. And the motherfucker came up here. He's the one who got rid of he's the one who got rid of the way that the county government used to be formed. He broke all that shit up, man. This dude been a real little nerdy ass like Republican dude for a long time. So he always was smacking Milwaukee. And so we took it then. Mayor Barrett took it then, right? And so we're looking at it now. Once again, you have people who work in the city, thousands of people who work for the city that don't live in the city. But then you come to us who live in the city and say, oh shit, y'all gonna have to give up more money. That's what I'm saying. It's a statement. It's only 2%. Come on, man. You notice that over time. Inflation, first of all, let's just say,
right. Inflation already fucking us up.
Nobody's even talking about the fact that we living in a time where inflation in America is through the roof. I told you a goddamn Big Mac value meal costs $12. The fuck is that about? So once again, I felt like the city should have stood pat. I felt like what Mama Jenkins said was so pivotal. Let's go bankrupt then. That's called getting punked. Now, shout out to the 3 aldermen that stood against, because the vote was 12-3. Okay. And it was Alderman Pratt, Malele Coggs, Mark Chambers, right? They said, nah, bullshit ain't nothing. And Mama Jenkins even called in the other night and talked about that the city has coffers. They have money sitting around, man. Now, the whole nightmare of, well, we're going to lose, our services are at risk. Our services are at risk. I feel like, and that's what Mayor Johnson was, hey, the services. That's such a weak narrative, man. If the rest of this state is willing to let Milwaukee fall apart and not have firehouses and policemen and all of that, then we know it's bigger than it's bigger than anything. It's about getting rid of these FBAs down here. That's what it really come to. Who lets the largest city in a state that generates the largest tax base fall off a cliff over a fucking DEI clause? You couldn't even stand up and say, we ain't signing unless you take that shit off. That should have been Mayor Barrett's quote. I mean, Mayor Johnson's quote. I keep calling him Mayor Barrett because, they were very close. Right. They were very close. I'm sorry. But if that should have been his quote in the paper. Take the bullshit off, and it's cool. You won't have a problem. We want to, we'll deal with all the other ramifications. The city is underrun and it's mismanaged as well. Like, there's no leadership and it's mismanaged. This shit is sad, man. And then, so like we talk about Black people in Milwaukee, still, I'm hoping that this 12% voter turnout will change, because this brother got an election. He's only had 2 years. Now people say Kevin ain't his fault. Whose fault is it then? Right? You took over last year. You should have been on this shit last year at this, like, man, we got some shit coming if we don't get right. You done smiled and partied and cut ribbons and ate Wiener Schnitzel and bratwurst and all this shit and grinned, and look at where the fuck we at. Mayor, right? Oh, and I'm not in all of them. All of them. Shame on all of y'all, right? You should be banned from Juneteenth Day. You need to start a list. You can't come to Juneteenth Day.
Don't go to Garfield Days, and it's coming up too.
Right. Don't even go to Burla Day.
I'm going.
I'll be there.
I'll actually be vending there between 1 o'clock and 2:30.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
With the Chamber of Commerce. I'm only gonna be there for an hour and a half. I may do a couple laps and hit it after that. But
yeah, I heard him on the radio today, 98.3.
Mm-hmm. And so the plan that I'm hearing is it's time to shut them down. Right? What does shut them down mean? I'm telling y'all right now, the implementation of economic boycotting has to start. It has to begin. And I'm not talking about, I know a lot of y'all, and I'm one of y'all, I like to spend money too. You want to have convenience. You want to be able to participate in the economy, right? So, but I'm saying let's design some economic boycotting, meaning let's just take certain days off to start. It's no bread Wednesday, meaning no black shop on Wednesday. Get what the fuck you need on Tuesday. I don't hear that, man, but I ran out of reps. You supposed to bought extra reps on Tuesday.
Excuse, the only option for that is go to a black-owned space.
Okay.
And buy what you got to buy.
Okay. There you go. Thank you for that addendum. Thank you. But I'm saying this needs to happen because if we as a city that's 58% minority, and I do believe 40+% black, foundational black Americans, if we don't make a statement behind this, if we go with this, they said they gonna sue. I keep asking y'all, well, who the fuck gonna pay for the lawyers they're gonna sue with? Us. Who gonna pay for the city to defend itself? Us. More fuck shit. Right? See how fuck shit begats fuck shit? I just made that up. That was tight, wasn't it? Get that on a t-shirt. Fuck shit begats fuck shit. All right. People say, what the fuck he got on his shirt? Mama Jenkins, welcome to the show. She said, well, it passed now, so it's up to us to hold these asses. And I'm saying it. Thank you because I know they be trying to police Mama Jenkins' comments. It's up to us to hold these asses accountable, hold their asses accountable, and use the damn services that we pay for. But I would like to thank C. Chambers, Pratt, and Cogs for their votes. Yeah, and assisted. Listen, people have criticized my sister for a very long time, but I think this was really a show of real courage on her part, because I know she knows what she knows about what she knows. She's been down there long enough to know what's popping, right? And for her to say nah. And she's one of the senior members. There's a couple of these stepping fetches that look like us who said, okay, man, I suck, yo.
But what if motherfuckers only said nah because they seen that so many motherfuckers already voted yeah? So they only said nah to save face, to make it look like they wasn't with it, but really they was. So we over here to applaud them like, yeah, and then folks, we proud of them for not doing it. But what if, you know what I'm saying, some other people would have said no, then it would have flipped and they would have been the people to say yes, just as long as it was 12 yes votes. Then they opted to let maybe 3 motherfuckers say no, but really they all was in on it. You know what I'm saying? It be some shit like that behind the closed door. Like, all right, you guys, so 12 of us got to say yeah, and 3 of you say no. Okay, so which ones are going to save face? Who's it going to be? Andrea, you're kind of new, so we're going to let you know what I'm saying? We can't just always make a motherfucker.
That really right there is that's some deep conspiracy you just laid out. Right? Clones involved. It's AI involved. Motherfucker got holographic cameras.
I'm just saying.
Look, Courtney, I don't think they're that smart to do that. I don't think they're that smart. I really don't. But they've had issues. They've had issues for a very long time. This brought about the previous collapse in which we had this majority black common council. They couldn't get along. So motherfuckers bounced, and some people, came up on charges. Dion, what it do, man? What's going on?
Man, what's happening, man? Nothing, man. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been listening all day to different people. I heard one motherfucker said, what'd he say? That we should vote them out. Then if that don't work, somebody run against them, and you know what I'm saying? It's like. Listen, man, this is how I look at it. And I know you might not want to hear. Like I said, I do a lot of going different places, going to different states. If a lot of people got outside of Milwaukee and see, it's places outside of Milwaukee, the sales tax is a little bit more expensive. Even if you go over to Chicago, 14% sales tax. So my thing is, now I'm listening to you where you was talking about economic boycott.
Well, how is it 6 million people in Chicago? Ain't it 6 million people? Okay, it's only 300,000 here.
Wait, hold on. Like an economic boycott. How can people say I'm not doing economic boycott when, like we was talking about Monday, people doing their grocery shopping at the hot spot? We're talking about people that are economically disadvantaged. So it's being forced down our throat, but people, like I heard somebody say, well, we need to start buying stuff down in Wisconsin. Let's start buying stuff, from different states and getting this shit. You know what I'm saying now? Yeah, if you got money to do that, fine and dandy. But if you making the $2 a few dollars and you about to walk to the hot spot and make you a meal for the night with $20 to get you about $7 worth of chicken or a loaf of bread, maybe $3 worth of bologna, a 2-liter or a 3-liter pop and shit. You know what I'm saying though? Like,
okay, let me just interject this right here. Let me say this.
Yeah, make me understand.
Okay. For people, anybody out there who, and I say this to black people all the time. If you like how you're living, then by all means keep doing what the fuck you doing, right? If you want to live off hotspot grocery and you say I'm not going to even participate in something that's greater than me because I need to go and give me some hot chips from the hotspot. If you can't buy the chips the night before, then you stay out there and you do what you do. I'm talking to people that are of like mind, people who are upwardly mobile. I'm talking to those of us who really spend money in the economy. I ain't talking about a motherfucker buying $15 worth of grocery. That's not even grocery.
Food stamp. Talking about
right.
Some people it is though.
Okay, well, but if they're gonna say I'm poor, so I choose to sit any kind of efforts out, then let them sit it out, and you stay in the place that you're in. I'm talking to black people who want to do something. So even if you listening to this show and you say, Kev, fuck that economic boycott. Shit, I'm down here living on the turf. I got to do what I got to do. I want you to hang up right now. I don't even want you to listen to my show. I don't. Because I'm not talking to you. Because you happy. You're living a life of bliss. Ignorance is bliss. So if you say, nah, man, I like this killing and this violence and this miseducation and this murder and this fucking being disenfranchised and being victims of a system, this shit is lovely, then I don't really want you. I don't want you moving next door to me. So if that's a person's excuse, then don't listen to me. I'm talking to those of us who can say, I'm not putting no gas in my car on Wednesday. I'm going to go Tuesday. I'm going to make sure I got all whatever knickknacks that I need. This will be a family thing for us because I'm sure my wife will participate and say, you know what, you're right. We'll get what we need that Tuesday. We're not spending nothing on Wednesday. That brings a temporary shutdown to them so they can say, whoa, that one day is going to affect their bottom line. And they're going to say, wasn't shit moving. We lost some money yesterday. Once you get used to doing it that way, you start doing it 2 days a week until you can get to 3 days a week. But once again, if you don't want to participate, then move the fuck on. Bye. This ain't the TP for you.
I feel you don't care, but like I said, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? We always talk about how Milwaukee is impoverished and stuff. There's a lot of disenfranchised as far as people economically out here. You know, maybe like the Queen always say, you know, Liz, people be making life decisions at the gas pump. And I had to think about that one day. I go to the gas pump, get $20 or $30. I spend at least about $300 or $400, maybe more than that, a week on just gym shoes, ordering Jordans and Air Max.
Hold on, now stop right there. So stop right there. So stop. Hold on, Dion. Stop right there. What? Because if you stay ordering Jordans and Amazon and Fits and shit, I see you on with your team hats. Motherfucker, you ain't making no life decisions at no gas pump. You filling up your car. You stop advocating for bullshit when you living the good life. You say,
hold on, Kim.
Come on, man.
Wait, hold on, Kim. Let me finish. So when she said that, I had to think that maybe it is people out there. I got 2 vehicles. I had 3. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like the van
keep
full,
making
the
it
van
worse.
full. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm not tripping, because my life is okay. But it's some people out there who life ain't. And they gotta go to the hot spot or wherever they gonna go find.
So Dion, it doesn't sound like you advocating for them. It sounds like you're making an excuse for them. Go ahead, Kamar.
You know, I get it. I see both sides. I understand where he coming from, and I understand where we at also. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I understand that they probably can't make it nowhere else but to the house spot or something like that. It may be some people like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, we can't worry about them. I ain't going to be mad at them either. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we already on this mission. You know what I mean? It ain't that we forgetting about them. It's just that we working towards something greater. You know what I mean? And if some people can't get with it, then they can't. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But we still got to continue to push for better.
I think it's too unfair that for you to sit on your ass because you poor. I mean, if that's your excuse, and then when shit get to happening, you ready to receive the benefits and say, shit didn't change. I'm happy. Yeah, you did not. No thanks to you, motherfucker. As I mean, it's stupid, man. I hear what you're saying, but I just think you saying you understand their plight. So you saying, well, you know, I get it, what they going through. So But on the other hand, you saying I don't give a fuck about that property tax. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me.
Well, I do care about the property tax. I ain't gonna lie to you now.
Or the tax hike. I'm sorry, the new tax raise. Okay,
no, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. Because when I go to South Carolina in a couple of weeks, or when I go down to go buy some tickets to go to the Moneybagg Yo concert, I ain't gonna be thinking about that shit. I'm going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But hey, check it out. Because I can't hear y'all. I'm gonna hang up. For real though, kid, man. You know what I mean? Life's alright, man. I can't complain, man. Life's alright, man. But I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna listen to y'all, man. Why motherfuckers talking about it's a clone on there? Y'all better watch, because it definitely is a clone on there though. You just never know, though. You never know. I Outlaws. Love.
Yeah.
Peace.
Shout out to Liz Brown. Liz Brown rode with us for a while. Shout out to her. I guess she busts in on the Tory Lowe show now. So shout out to Liz Brown. But that's funny. Dion is hilarious. Samantha Collier, how you doing, my sister? Team Teal 365 and the Call to Action podcast. Samantha Collier. Peace to you, my sister. But yeah, I mean, listen. Once again, and this is where it always gets convoluted, right? Where somebody's gonna say, "But Kev, what about?" But man, instead of saying, "You know what? Let's do this shit," and you can participate in some way, because here's the deal: if you live in a neighborhood that has this kind of a hotspot type of corner store in it, you can start in your neighborhood by boycotting him one day a week, saying, "Nah, man, we don't shop there on Wednesday." Because I guarantee you there's another store within close proximity. These motherfuckers ain't that far apart. I don't want to drive all the way down there. Well, then fuck it then. Don't participate, right? Because I can guarantee you this: if you don't do nothing, nothing will change. That's the only guarantee you getting. If we don't do shit, ain't shit gonna change. So now is the time. And so if you listen to the show, share the show. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Is shut them down. They have passed this legislation, amongst other things. There's been an attack. I don't know what got up the Republicans' asses, but they've gotten on a tear over the last year. Post-Trump, right? Post-Trump. They was clowning during him, but they've been clowning after. They've attacked everything, and they're re-examining everything, especially when you see affirmative action. Why are you attacking affirmative action 40, 50 years later? Why are you revisiting Roe versus Wade 50 years later? Why are you going back now saying let's go undo everything we've done to make some kind of sense out of this whack ass system that we run? Let me see. This is Ewok the Great in the chat room. He said they keep asking black people to vote for them and pull the same bullshit. But I place the blame on in Milwaukee on black people for not voting. Kev, how could you say that? You won't vote. You won't vote. Plain and simple. Districts with 30, 50, 30, 40,000 people, you get 12,000 votes out of that district. Come on, man. And then how many people are sitting around complaining? And some people say, I just do what I do. I don't pay them no attention. What are you doing? What you doing? Right? So we should care about this shit. I feel like people just, and this is the bet. They always bet on this. Anytime they get ready to pass any fucking fugazi shit, they say, you don't gotta worry. Them niggas ain't gonna vote anyways. Unless you put whether or not they want to legalize weed on the goddamn ballot. That's how you get niggas to the polls. It's to say, hey man, you gonna put legalizing weed on there. Voter turnout will be 50%. Oh, they finna legalize bud, dog. Like, and I'm not criticizing people. I'm just speaking on what we're not doing, which ain't shit. We ain't doing shit. That's pretty much what we are doing. Nothing, right? So if this is how we really feel, if we're not willing to stand together and launch some sort of start to economic boycotts and shutting the city down, then I am done. If you cool, I'm cool. It's like Dion said. I ain't gonna even trip on it no more. I'm just gonna order my shoes and my Amazon.
I think black people need to understand that, you know what I mean, that's the war that everybody talking about, that everybody always talked about over the years. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about this war that's supposed to happen or whatever, a race war, it ain't no race war, it's an economic war. Every war is somehow economical. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. So, and you know what I mean? And right now, we got to understand that that's what it is. And we have to get an economical plan together. You know what I mean? We have to learn how to build wealth, hold wealth, you know what I mean? And use wealth to our advantage.
Well, when you say there's an economic aspect to it, but with this assault on the truth, when you listen, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there's a judge who turned down reparations for the survivors of Black Wall Street, or for the families of Black Wall Street. How do you turn this down? You also have a superintendent of education there in Oklahoma saying to teachers, well, you can teach about it, but you can't say it was done because they were Black and there was a hatred for Black. What the fuck are you talking about? This is the whole reason this shit was done by white people whose intention was to fuck up some Black people. For you to, and that's twofold. So you're trying to manipulate the way history is taught, because at this point you feeling like, well, we got them on this school to prison pipeline, but we need to fine tune them a little bit. I feel like they tweaking the programming. They tweaking the indoctrination, because all of a sudden we getting too big for our britches, saying, man, I started reading books and I learned about history and I want the kids to know the truth. And we really need to take a deep dive on race relations and racism in this country and the history of it and where it could go and the perpetuation of it. And they saying, you motherfuckers done got too big for your britches. Y'all gonna have to tone down all that Black history shit when they little. Stop letting them little motherfuckers get up there and do that I have a dream speech. Fuck that. Or let's tweak that a little bit, right? Let's tweak that a little bit. Martin didn't really say this or that. Before you know it, because it starts somewhere. You see, what they do is they start small and they grow. We don't want to start small and grow. We want everything to, of course, we ain't going to shut the whole economy down off top, but you can make a statement. There's a statement to be made. And I don't understand why people of color don't understand that. Some shit's bigger than you. Man, fuck them niggas. I'm going to go get me some cigarettes. That's all you give a fuck about is you having some cigarettes. You can't say, man, I'm going to give me some cigarettes tonight, because I ain't buying shit tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
Hell no. I need my motherfucking squares, nigga.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's that motherfucker that said Marcus Garvey said the boat was gonna be pulling off and they was gonna be on the deck, like on the bay, like, hey, what about us? Right. You niggas can't go. Y'all can't go. Y'all stay on the harbor. The boat is leaving you. I'm just tired of counterproductive people of color that don't want to do nothing about nothing, right? Except complain. Who the fuck wants to hear complaints all the time? You know, so that's my stake on it, man. And you know, like I said, there's a whole attitude towards anything that's true in this country right now, like the truth, what reality is. And then it started small with that, but it's extended itself now to laws getting repealed. You feel me? This ain't just a few rednecks on the militia no more talking shit. This is actually elected officials who we vote in, who we pay with our tax dollars. It's giving you the good jug. I hope that's nasty. I wanted to. That's what Madison doing in Milwaukee right now. Take it, right? Mayor Johnson, come on, son. You didn't even hardly put up a fight. What movie was that said? Did you at least pinch the bitch? Like, come on, man. You ain't even fight back, bro. You just balled up in the corner, man. I know you wouldn't understand because there's mitigating factors or services. Once again, I'm looking at you. You got the county with you. Why y'all ain't more on a unified stance together, saying, no, we stand together in that we ain't bowing down or cow time for that shit. That's our money. Let us get it back, at least a portion of it. Right? I don't see no courage, and don't be hiding behind services, because you know what? The part of the taxes going up mean that they're more likely to get another raise. They just voted themselves. Remember, they at the end of that election cycle, they voted so they can get pay raises. That shit that came and went. They up around $90,000 a year now, if not more. That's your alderman who represents you, who said, yeah, tax them motherfuckers more. Because it ain't gonna bother him. Like my man said, what concert he said he was going to? Moneybag Yo. It'd be there with Dion. Is that what he said? Moneybag Yo. It's crazy, man. I don't. All the talking we do, I look on Facebook. So many of y'all are just true revolutionaries. Y'all just real, just like, man, they so black and they speak in this language and they quote all of the authors and the Efimeway Ogwibaway's book on war without spears and spear without war and all this shit. But they ain't saying like there should be a unified front amongst everybody to say, look, no, if you ain't shopping black on Wednesday, don't shop. And anybody we see still shopping with some raps or something, we should make fun of them and laugh at them. like when it's a strike and motherfuckers be trying to cross the strike line and what they call them, scabs.
Scabs.
Yeah, that's what we should start calling cats who shop on Wednesdays. If you ain't shopping black, you a fucking scab.
Scab ass nigga.
Right. There you go. There you go, right there.
You know, it's Milwaukee. Oh, scab ass nigga.
Right.
People don't know what that means. Man, this nigga over here in the A-Rap store on Wednesday.
Scab
what you call me a scab for? That should be something like being called an Uncle Tom. Boot looking ass scab. We're gonna have to put that on something, man. We gonna have to, people be sneak listening, man. We try to steal our shit.
Like,
Yeah. Let's make names up for people who will step out of line with what we trying to do.
Right.
Right? Like, man, look at y'all, man, lined up out here like some goddamn scabs for some Jordans. You breaking the picket line, brother. We on strike to that. Because why you can't go tomorrow? Listen, I'm a consumer cat myself. But I'm willing to say, well, I ain't going to get it on Wednesday. We ain't moving. People say, well, what's the difference? You're still going to spend the money. It's other money I didn't spend on Wednesday. Because if I had to get in my car to go get it, I'd have probably bought some gas, stopped at a restaurant. Who knows what errand you get sent on? Where you at? Go and get some mushroom gravy. I'm making whatever. You be like, oh, shit, I got to go to Aldi's or something. Now I done went in Aldi's. I intended on just coming home. I done spent $70. Could you stop and get something to eat? I ain't cooking. $300 for a bunch of value meals from McDonald's and shit. Like, what the fuck you mean? I got with 3 things. Right. So if I'm not going to get that big ticket item, all the small shit around it is taken away. And that's just one day a week until, like I said, we can say, all right, y'all, it's a little challenge now. Let's do some weekends. Let's do some. I double dog dare us to do weekends. You talking about crippling this city. You think about how much money you spend from Friday to Sunday on payday weekend. Me and my brother used to call it throwing rappers. He said, man, you know a motherfucker get paid because he pull up all the kids in the backseat eating cheeseburgers and shit. It's McDonald's fries flying everywhere. Motherfuckers got new shoes, unloading the trunk. You ain't get them goddamn bags out the car. That must be payday. Yeah, man, I was throwing rappers. If we just stop doing that, a Friday night for all of us who go out, you like to party. What if we just said, dude, you know what? Unless you're going to a black establishment, we ain't going. What if we stayed away from downtown? Right? But we ain't gonna do that.
No.
Because that's too inconvenient. That's more inconvenient than living in a fucked up city. That's cool. I like living in a dysfunctional city. Just don't make me have to not go get something from what's the meat place on Locust? Where top Fast and Friendly? Right. Don't get your meat deal on Saturday. Wait till Sunday or Monday. Because what's gonna happen is a domino effect in which once they got a hold of that inventory, the prices of it will go down. Because for a business to thrive, they have to sell shit. Yep. So the longer they got to hold on to something, the less they're going to charge for it. Because they want to get rid of them old ass chicken wings now.
They already old.
Right. You know, we might discover some shit if we make them, you know, because we didn't even talk about this lab grown meat that's been passed now. Right. You know, and I want to talk about the lab grown meat too, because I don't know if y'all know the particulars of it. I don't know a whole lot about it. Dion says I don't go downtown, but I'm trying to buy a car this weekend and I'm going to Real Fest. Motherfucker just gonna party all the way through the revolution. No fucking sacrifice. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you, Tia.
Ain't one of them motherfuckers trying to take us down. You know, usually be somebody going to tell the oppressor, like, hey, man. So at least he ain't one of them. If he just, all right, if you going to party with do the revolution, all right. Just don't fuck it up for us. Go do your thing.
Yeah. If you listen, if you are in a position where you say, man, Kev, I ain't really tripping. I'm just enjoying my life. By all means, go do you. Once again, I'm talking to people that are interested in trying to affect some change. So it's a very pointed conversation. And I need to say that if you're tuning in to Outlaw Radio, it's conversation. We are the children of the diaspora. It's foundational Black American conversation. It's all about things that can help us progress. If you're set and you say, I'm cool, Kev, I don't need even stress over that, then, good day, my friend. Right? Good day. Shine Mo, what it do, man?
What's happening, man? How y'all doing? Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Sean.
What's up, Professor Real, Dr. Scott, and
what up, Sean?
Yeah, man.
What it
nice.
do, man? What it
nice.
do?
We're nice. We can't say saucy no more. We nice on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we ain't saying salty. We ain't saying salty. I thought that was I thought that salty shit last show. I'm like, where the fuck this come from? That's some new shit. I'm nice.
Yeah. What's on your mind tonight, man?
Oh, you really want to talk about it?
Well, it depends on how long it's gonna take. I only got a couple hours. Where you gonna start at?
It ain't gonna take that long. What's on my mind tonight is our failed alderman and how he continues to fuck up shit.
Which one?
And I'm not talking about Ashanti or Miss Pratt. I'm talking about Vince Tony.
You said he said failed alderman. Wow.
Radio this morning.
I didn't hear him. He was on Hidden Hard Radio.
He was on there yesterday.
Yeah.
I was on there with Woody. He continues to make this shit about him. Yesterday he put a post up, right, of the meeting in 2017. And he didn't put his picture up. He put the picture up of Elder Green on Facebook, right? Knowing that these young motherfuckers are around the corner looking for a reason to stop anybody from going down there to testify on that store, right? So you put this elder up that you respect and protect so much. Then you tell people don't come to the church talk about nothing but the liquor license, right? And you go up in there, first thing you do is you get to talk about Pratt and all these other failed motherfuckers and all the failures of the city. I'm so tired of dude, man. I really am. He don't go past Roosevelt. He stick on them free blocks. On free blocks. Of course it should be great because ain't no action over there. But you want to sit up and talk about what goes on Atkinson, but you don't go up there and communicate with nobody.
Okay. So first of all, let me say, I didn't hear the interview on Hidden Hard Radio. Courtney, you heard it. You kind of shook your head like this is true. So what was your take from the interview on Hidden Hard Radio?
No, I heard him on WNOV. He called in to talk with Michelle Bryant. That's
okay.
And yeah, just to, Vince sometimes, and them motherfuckers be asking them questions. You know how you get to ask them motherfucker a question, and then they get to talk about, okay, let me explain. But then they get to talk about some whole other shit. You on the other end, like, what? He was talking about hotspot, and really his whole concern for getting it shut down was the liquor license, of course. And they like, well, people complaining about the weed, and they doing this to people, and yada, yada, yada in the hood. And they like, so all you care about is liquor license? You ain't concerned about nothing else? And he like, no, really, just you know what I'm saying. Basically, they like, what the fuck? So that's all you care about.
You said no, not really. Listen,
hey, I love Vince, man, but I'm gonna tell you, man, even during that race, you know what I mean? I felt like he really don't want no help. He don't want no help doing what he got, trying to get accomplish these goals achieved.
And Vince supposed to be here. Listen, Vince, chime in.
Listen, Kev. Whenever anybody got any kind of input, any kind of advice, any kind of way they want to help, you know what I mean? He refused it. Just we heard that on the show the other night. You know what I mean? You got people willing to get behind you, but you don't want them to say shit.
See, I heard something different on the show the other night, and Sean already done like inboxed me. Sean inboxed me like I did some shit wrong, right? Like he won't fight me and shit. Like motherfucker.
I inbox you like stop covering for people.
No, I don't have to
Stop
cover.
covering
Listen,
for that
ho. Stop the
Your
goddamn
show,
bus.
my bad. It's your show.
Stop the bus. I don't got to cover for near some bitch.
You'll hang up on me, my bad.
Because the phone line is open. If he wants to call in and defend his point, it's fine for him to do so. I can't cover for him. I said it's my guy. I'm not listen. It's me and that's my guy. I'm not going, what the fuck? I ain't no bandwagon. I ain't no dick rider. I ain't got to jump all on him because somebody else disagree with him. Oh, fuck you, man. They don't like what you said. That ain't how I roll, right? If I'm cool with somebody and I'm with him, I'm with him. He can fight his own battles. He can fight his own battles. He's more than capable of calling in, articulating himself. I do not have to cover for him. None whatsoever.
Right.
So,
you got that one.
And another thing is, if he does call in, then everybody needs to be able to make their point without fucking yelling over each other or getting if we can't be players about it, then we ain't gonna do it. So
I'm taking my calm pill right now.
Okay, well, take one and drink some water.
I'm taking two.
Be quiet. Take four.
I'm taking two.
Take four.
Of course. Is it gonna be two about?
All right, because I'm not. Listen, it's like this, Sean. It's like this.
I was just talking about what I've been noticing, what I've been seeing. You know what I mean?
It's just like with Ruben Anderson and Sean's beef. Ruben said I was covering for Sean.
Well, I ain't talking about nobody covering for nobody. I was just talking about my angle on the Vince Tony thing. You know what I mean? I was just talking about that. That's all. I don't know about who covering for who or none of that. You know what I mean?
You know, sometimes I use the wrong verbiage. Kamar. You know, I used the wrong verbiage. You know, I said cover. Okay, my bad. Should have said cover. That kind of touched my dude the wrong way. He was about to hang up on me. I know he was.
No, I would have just hung up. I don't put my finger by the button and be like, should I? I'd have just been like, bloop. Bloop. Out of there. No need for me to hesitate, player.
No, man, but you know, for real, KB, man, I'm so frustrated about this, man, because it's like, you know, every time we talk about this hot spot or something in the community, right, it always goes to, well, I did this and I did that. I was the only one here. I was the only one there. Like you said about the last meeting, you were the only one physically there, but there was 20 other people on Zoom waiting to speak up.
So what I heard him say the other night was, I want to keep this conversation focused, so we're going to discuss the liquor license, because other than that, it turns into a yelling match. Other than that, you got a bunch of opinions. We don't end up getting anything done, which is very true. True. It's very true. Now, from what I heard, this meeting they have is a good one.
Hey, and it may be a good one, but the problem is you start trying to throw everybody else under the bus instead of making your point. Right. Instead of talking, you see what I'm saying?
So it's like the game with the rapper.
Okay, when they're giving the microphone, why you start talking about Pratt and Malele Cogs and them and shit?
And that's what he did. Definitely, that is well.
You know what I mean? And you talking about shutting down a liquor license. Right. Why you bringing all these other people up?
Right.
Okay.
Remember, that's what I was talking about when he was running for office. And I'm like, why you keep naming all these names? Howard Fuller, Malele Cogs, and like, talk about what you want to do. Talk about your plan. You know what I'm saying? Quit trying to throw people under the bus. You acting like a snitch.
He said acting like a snitch.
Then something else though, man, I got a problem with, and I'm sorry, Kamar. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I get it. You know what I mean? It ain't snitching what he doing. You know what I mean? He bringing up points, but still, you know what I mean? When the aim is to talk about what's right, to make solutions, that's what you got to talk about.
But what about once you know somebody for who they is, you let them do them and keep it moving. If you ain't gonna fuck with them, don't fuck with them. And I don't need
because this ain't about that, okay?
I don't need to call and yell at them.
This ain't about personal relationships. This is about a person's actions affecting the outcome of a situation that could change the community. even when he was running for alderman, right? Bro, you weren't running for alderman to fix the community. You were running for art. You just want your name in something. That's what it seems like. Now, I may be wrong, but when you constantly talking about what I'm doing, what I did, well, me, myself, and I did, it seems like it's all about you. And that's why people tune out, right? And then when you get to talking about the failures of others, when we talking about fixing stuff.
But Sean, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest. Have you never called anybody
I get
out?
it, they ask.
I've heard right. So he's not
but
doing.
I have solutions,
He's not doing anything different than what you do. Because
yes,
I've heard you.
Because,
I've asked you a question before, and you said, "Well, let me explain it." And you named other people and their failures and what they did wrong and what they didn't stand for. So what's the difference between what y'all do?
Don't I have solutions though? Don't I have solutions when I call them people out? I don't just call them people out and say, "Oh, he's a bitch ass nigga," and leave it alone. No, I tell you why he's a bitch ass nigga. I tell you why he's a bitch ass nigga. How he can stop being a bitch ass nigga, right? I don't just leave it at he's a bitch ass nigga. I give that bitch ass nigga a solution to stop being a bitch ass nigga.
Listen, Dion is in the chat room. By the way, there's a number. Please call in 262-202-5131. Y'all call in. It's Outlaw Radio. Shut them down. And we always try to be solution based. One of my solutions is to start exercising some sort of economic boycott. If you have another solution, please call in. Don't hesitate. The chat room's on deck. Dion said the hotspot did something personal to him. He probably couldn't buy something with a Quest card and got mad and said, "I'll show you, motherfuckers."
Said, "I'll show you."
He said he was on the station with Michelle. He said, "Y'all keep fucking with Vince and he gonna be." Hold on. Let me read the comments. He said, "Y'all keep fucking with Vince and he gonna be a Clarence Thomas."
Thanks. That's why I have to start too.
You said you got somebody on the phone with you. Who you got with you?
I have Mama Freeman on the phone. She was trying to pull your show up, but she couldn't put it up, so I got her on the phone with me.
Okay.
She was at the meeting last night.
Okay.
She was actually there.
That's what's up. Okay. So what happened? How did it go?
Huh?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, ask your question, Mama.
Okay, I didn't hear. What was your question?
He said, "How did it go last night at the meeting?"
Well, it was a lot of people there speaking up on Niall's behalf because he was really attacking Niall, and this one young lady, she was just completely out of order, but she wouldn't let him speak at all. Every time he started to talk, she butted in, and
You still there, Mom?
yeah, but there were a lot of people speaking up on Niall's behalf. It was more than against.
Oh, okay. So it ended up. Welcome to the show, by the way. Welcome to the show. Thank you for giving us some input on it. So you're saying more people were there defending the hotspot because they felt like Vince was attacking the owner.
Exactly.
So if this place, I just want to ask the question: if it's so dysfunctional, why are people from the community going in there defending it?
That's what I'm saying. If you walk in there, I went in there today, and I'm telling you, it looked like Walmart. It was so many people in there, and it was orderly. The people were. I've even seen people being fed, hungry people on the street that he feeds them. That kind of stuff. He may not be the best person in the world, but at least he has a heart for all of these that are misusing their monies and stuff around here.
So he should be allowed to continue to operate.
That's basically what they were saying.
Okay.
Huh?
So do you feel he should be allowed to continue to operate?
I do.
Okay.
And the reason why I feel like that is because he's not responsible for what these people do with the liquor that they buy there. He's not responsible for the food that they eat or don't eat that they buy there. So why is he held responsible for their conduct?
Okay. That's interesting perspective.
There are other things that there's a store on the other corner. They go in there and they buy the tall cans of beer or whatever that is, and they walk up and down the street drinking it. They go on Atkinson and they get liquor down there and come right back to stand in front of his place and drink it. Because there's a park there where they all gather. Okay. They've been doing it for years. I've been here since 1969, and I've watched that.
Okay. So, Sean, you are against the hotspot, though, correct?
I am. I have been. And, you know, Mama know why. And, you know, I love Mama. She know I love her. You know what I mean? And, you know, there was a point in time when I wanted the hotspot to provide healthy foods, right? Healthy stuff. And, you know, we were working towards that. And the legal stuff happened with me. And then the takeover began, right?
But hold on. In what all of the things she just said, because what I heard her say is the owner has a good heart. He does provide some things for the community. It's not his fault. He should be allowed to continue to operate. You have called in and gave millions of reasons why he should absolutely unequivocally be shut down. So are you still standing by that statement, or now are you saying, well, maybe we should let him stay open in light of what he does for the community?
I still feel as though he needs to go.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure people knew where we were at.
How many times has he fed you, Sean?
Huh?
Huh?
How many times have he fed me what?
Yeah, how many times has he given you money? How many times has he helped you out?
He ain't never gave me no money. Now, Mama, he might have loaned me some money, but he ain't never gave me nothing.
Same thing.
No, it's not. No. He right here telling people he done paid my rent. He ain't never paid my rent.
Did he loan you the money to pay the rent?
Hell no.
It's the same thing.
He loaned you money. What you did with it was your business. But he loaned you the money.
Mama, he loaned me money back in what, 2015?
It don't matter if it was the day after you was born. He loaned
I
us.
feel like Nita had a lot of conversations.
If he doing stuff that's counterproductive to growth in the community, it don't matter. It don't matter the good, right? Now,
come on now.
If he wanted to fix that, if he wanted to do something different, yeah, but he didn't have how many years?
Everything that we suggested to him to do, he tried to do. And look how long it took you to start being productive in the community. Come on now. Ain't nobody angels around here, including me. We all do something, but it's when we do better that counts.
Okay. I like this.
This is great. I want my community to do better, which means that means everybody in the community got to cooperate. They gave you time. They gave you time to get better. Who gave me time to get better?
The community.
God gave me time to get better.
The community.
Okay, but
come on now.
Look. So
God gave me time to get
Sean, there's a couple narratives being established here, and I want people to know you can call in. The number is 262-202-5131. It's Outlaw Radio. Shut them down. This discussion about the hotspot initially started with you kind of launching a volley at Vince, kind of being critical of him, right? When his real mission, what he's been trying to do is get this place shut down because he says it's a bad apple in the community. He also says that it's a place to start at, and then there's other elements that have to be removed, which I feel like we should start there. You're saying, no, he's making it all about him, but she's saying, no, both of y'all wrong. He should be able to stay in business because he does for the community. It's the community around him's fault, not him. That's where we're at tonight. So people won't be confused. And they say, wait, are they against it or are they for it? This is two people from the same community who are, one is for it and one is against it.
But he out here letting niggas hold a couple dollars
and I love mama. Huh? What's that, Courtney?
I said, so he out here letting niggas hold a couple dollars and everything. So how many other people is he helping out when they need a little?
I didn't hear
her.
She's saying, go ahead, Courtney. I want to make sure.
So he out here letting people hold a couple dollars. So how many people is he helping out when they fucked up a little bit? They come in there, man. Look, I'm finna get my check in like 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Can I?
Right.
So, they make you iffy when you start hearing these stories on the other end of it. Well, look, he's a good man. He has
it creates a whole new perspective of this argument. And she even said there were more people at this community town hall meeting that were in favor of him than were against him. Now, what did we say the other night on the show? If the people this time out don't make enough noise to shut the hotspot down, then you got to forever hold your peace because this is what they want.
But then
why he can't get all them people to go vote?
That's true, Kamar. That's a good question.
Yeah. They won't go back. Okay.
But what if this also?
Man,
I'm saying if he got all his pull.
Right. What? Okay. Yeah.
What if this also proves Vince's point though? That's why he don't want to get rid of it. He just want to get rid of the liquor aspect.
Some hungry people if they do.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point too, Courtney. Maybe that is why he's saying, Sean, I just want the liquor license. Let him sell food. Let him do whatever he does with the food. We just want to take his liquor license. And that does eliminate a certain element of people who would hang out there.
I ain't got a problem with that.
Okay.
Right? I ain't got a problem with them taking the liquor license so that he can change the direction of the store. Right? Huh? Yes,
Sean. Yes, let's tell it like it is, okay?
Okay.
The stuff that's going on around his store is not caused by his liquor. It's caused by the drugs that these guys are selling and using.
Okay.
And they hide on that side by his store because it's near the park. Now let's tell it like it is. They're down on the corner at this other store with the street that has my name on it. They sell drugs there. They prostitute there. They do everything there. Now let's keep it real. It's not the liquor that's making them do that.
It's not the liquor that's making him do that, but it's the liquor that allows for the other stuff that shouldn't be happening to happen. Because he can use the liquor to show that, okay, well, this is where the money coming from, and that liquor gives them cover for other stuff.
So then why are they doing it at the other store?
Because Miguel don't work at the other store. Miguel is the plug. I said it on air.
Man, they do more at the other store than they do down here. Come on.
I just heard something, Sean, I just heard something very important too, because a lot of people may be questioning who my sister is. You do have a street named after you. Let's talk about that. The street, the community, and your contribution to the community, because you seem to be a staple in the neighborhood for a very long time. So I wanted her to tell us.
I know a lot of these guys from working at the House of Correction for 20 years. I know what they're doing. I know who they are. I'm out there shaking my finger at them since I don't wear a badge anymore. So I know what they're doing. And so does Sean. The stuff that they're doing, mister, is not off of liquor. These guys are selling heroin. They're selling fentanyl. They're doing some of everything right there.
Yep. And he has these cameras, and he has these audio microphones that hear and see everything in the neighborhood, right? Yet you only pick and choose what you give to the police. Just like in my case, right?
How do you know?
That was a total lie. Huh? What you say, Mom?
I said, how do you know he picks and chooses?
I know.
If we're going to do something, let's do it right.
Record.
Let's do it right.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't like what he's doing to you, too. I don't like that. But by the same token, I'm not going to sit here and lie and make it look like he's a monster. The neighborhood is a monster.
I'm not saying that he's a monster.
Give me a second.
I'm saying that his inaction, right?
If they close him down, they need to close all of them down. The gas station over here. He's open 24. Come on.
All right. Sean.
I'm just saying the same thing though, Mama.
Let me, Sean.
If we gonna clean the neighborhood, we gotta clean the neighborhood.
Sean, give me a second. I got Vince Tony here tonight. So we're gonna add Vince to the call. Vince, your timing is impeccable. Shout out to Alexandria Brewer. Shout out to Dion. Dion said this is the real Outlaw Radio right here. Okay, so Vince, we have Sean Moore on the line, and we also have Sean Mama Freeman. I almost said Mama Jenkins. Sean got me calling everybody Mama. Mama Freeman on the line. They talked about, the discussion was about your meeting yesterday that you helped organize, and she said that there were more people there to defend the hotspot than there were against it, and that they feel as a community it should not be shut down because he does a lot of things to the community and for the community. What say you?
I say that I've got went down to the Common Council today and got papers. They talk about the 300 feet around the store that they notify people. Is only 250 people that 250 feet around the store, and they only notified 98 people.
Okay.
And the 98 people are people around the store. So how do we, and 14 of the addresses are businesses around 250 feet around the store. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 apartment buildings. And there's only about, out of the 98, 26 of them are people who actually live in the area, possibly homeowners. And some of the houses over there, they probably are vacant. So I think, how do you expect for anybody to come to the meeting when the community hasn't?
I'm talking about the meeting you had. She said there was a lot of people there and they spoke overwhelmingly for the hotspot.
Well, absolutely they did, because people in the community didn't come out in numbers. I mean, everybody over there was notified. Nobody was notified in our community. That was basically the reason why. So I'm going to ask them tomorrow to actually.
We notified each other.
Right.
I found out at 5:45.
Yeah. Well, my meeting, that's fine. And I told Nas to come to the meeting, so I'm sure that's who told a bunch of people over there. However, I'm going to ask for a postponement because I don't think the community has been duly noted that this meeting never is going to be even happening tomorrow at the hotspot. I mean, at the city hall.
The actual vote is tomorrow, but this was a meeting, a community meeting.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So the vote, you're talking about meeting, the vote.
Right. And we were talking about what happened in 2017, the people that went down to the Common Council there, and Pastor Campbell says that, and the meeting turned to, there's more than a liquor license problem. We have a bunch of other problems. And what I told the group is that, well, we do have a lot of problems in the community, but right now, the only problem that we have, or the concern that we have, is that the hotspot liquor license is up for renewal. And they said, well, it's a bunch of liquor stores and stores in the community. They are. But the other stores in the community's liquor license aren't up for renewal. And if they were up for renewal, the Common Council only notifies 98 people in the community of probably 3,600 people that live in the Garden Homes area. So we're not duly notified that anything's going on. So there's not going to be anybody that shows up tomorrow at the Common Council because people don't know.
You have something to say, Mama Freeman?
Yes, Mr. Tony doesn't hardly visit over here, but that's okay too. What I'm saying is that liquor is not the problem. The problem is the drugs. That's the problem. I wouldn't lie to you.
I agree.
Problem is drugs, and it's open I mean, it's not even hidden.
Okay.
Okay. So to take one step at a time, don't you got to start somewhere? And Vince, I do hear your point on saying the reason why I want to keep it about the liquor license because that's what's up for review. Right. We got other problems, but the liquor license is the first blow that we can strike. Is that what you're saying?
There's no forum or there's no common council.
If you strike the blow, the drugs aren't being sold out of the store.
Okay.
It is some drugs being sold out of the store, Mama. That's what Miguel is doing. Nael isn't doing it. Miguel is doing it.
Allegedly. Please don't say people's names. You're going to get us all sued. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Sue me.
Allegedly.
He can sue me because I use.
Well, he can't sue me. Allegedly. Miguel, I don't know you. Nael, allegedly. Allegedly. Go ahead, Sean.
I didn't say they were selling drugs.
And neither do I. I'm not agreeing with that one.
I never said Nael was selling drugs out the store, right? But I know for a fact Miguel was. I don't know if Miguel's there right now.
Allegedly.
But he was because.
How long ago was that?
Well, no, remember he had that tape. Remember that tape?
It was December 30th. It was December 30th because they used my Quest card.
Remember that tape, Kev? That video?
The video that Sean sent us that we watched on the show.
Somebody definitely sold some drugs up out of there.
Okay.
Okay,
so let me see, the chat room is popping. Let me get the chat room, y'all. If he's allowing all that corruption going on, I say it's complete BS. This is Alexandria Brewer. She said that's like saying the dude giving out snack cakes and hot chips is helping the community. Courtney, I see you going back and forth, conversing, working the chat room, if you will. Sean, no, hey, you these are people you brought. Hey, you got, hey. No, you can't go against her. She tearing you off. It's like being at your friend's house when he getting a whooping and he think you ain't gonna laugh, right? I'm in there cracking up while he getting his ass. Throw up. Joy Phillips, peace and love, my brother JoJo. What it do, man? He said peace and love, Outlaws. Fire talk tonight both ways. I appreciate everybody being civil in this conversation and nobody getting kind of out of pocket. Except Dion as usual. They said that nigga Vince just got a grudge or you can't stop people from selling drugs around the store. Mama Jenkins, shout out to Mama Jenkins. She said he's allowing things to happen and other people. Now, Vince, you were also accused of making this an ego thing, just wanting to get a cap in your feather and you really not really caring about, you making everything about you and people say you like the game. The game is a rapper who's always saying somebody's name. And people call him a name dropper. So they saying like Vince is like the game, like he just drops people's names. And, so what do you say to people who make these accusations? Because I'm sure you've heard them all before.
Right. I would say there's a video of the 2017 Common Council meeting. I would say go watch.
I'm talking about the past.
Hold on, let him finish, Sean. Let him finish. You had a whole stage. He wasn't even here. Let him finish.
It is the past, but that's what everything is the past from today. Yesterday is the past. Everything is the past. So we've got people who testified, and we had a forum at the Common Council of people who testified against the hotspot. And one particular person who doesn't want to be named anymore had that conversation at the Common Council. And overwhelmingly, the Common Council said that this person and her testimony was enough that the store should be not only liquor license suspended, that the store should be shut down. This is Shantia Lewis, and you can go back and these are archives. The tapes are out there. You can go back and look at them. And Shantia Lewis said not only does the liquor store license need to be revoked, the store needs to shut down for at least a year to give the community a chance to breathe. Those are the Common Council words. The other thing that was said is Pastor Campbell said when Zelensky asked him, why do you want that why are you going for this, keep this person in the building? He said, we don't want another empty building in the community. All the person Zelensky says, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. He says, I'd rather have an empty building than what you guys have there. So I'm not name dropping or anything. This is what was actually said. That wasn't by me.
Okay, but let's fast forward to today. Okay. This vote is coming up tomorrow. She said you don't really come to that area enough. So basically indicating that you don't really have an in-depth understanding of what the hotspot does for the community, for people. She said she's seen him giving out food to poor people. We talked about people coming up short with their food stamps. Said, man, we talking about him letting somebody hold something, give you a little piece of change, do something strange, right? He let people get a little bread now and then. So they're saying you just kind of coming in, sticking your nose in the business, and you don't really understand what's going on.
I've been living in the area for since 1992, and I think every year that let me put it this way, so we've had when I first came into the community and I took over the block watch as the lead, our annual picnics used to be at the park. We moved the picnic from the park to a youth center because we felt as though we didn't want to endanger anybody's life. We've had community partners, DRS and DRS and Eaton Corporation, who are our community partners. Every year in August, we would do a book bag giveaway, and we would give out over 150 book bags, close to 150, 125 book bags full of food, school supplies, and we would feed about 300 people. So I've done a lot in the community. I've been to Block Watch. I've had encounters with the Garden Homes Association President Joe Bova.
Come on now.
Yeah. So I've done a lot for the community. So I it's that I'm not going to put people's lives in harm's way. Children and when we have those picnics, we have the drummers over there. We've had face painters. We've had a ton of people over there that enhance the quality of life in the community. So most people will not approach that area. I would challenge you to go over there right now, today, over across the street from the hotspot. There's bottles and cans all over the place. So the quality of life that's being displayed over there outside of the store is something that the community doesn't need. And Nas and I, after 2019, was the last time his liquor license was up for renewal. In 2019, during the Common Council meeting, Ashante Hamilton told the Common Council that I have a personal vendetta against this guy from the hotspot. No, I don't have a personal vendetta. My problem is that he lives in Franklin, Wisconsin, and he's coming in West Milwaukee to sell his liquor. Now, yesterday he was asked the question, can he sell something? Why liquor? He says that, and why not stop selling liquor? He said, well, you can't stop selling liquor in our community because he has to feed his 6 children. The other thing that he says that in his community, the liquor stores that he has to go to, he has to walk 3 blocks to get to a liquor store in Franklin, but he's in the middle of our community. So my understanding is we as a people, how we can, and if we look back to, but the other thing that I'm looking at is the Blueprint for Peace, written by Reggie Moore, where they talk about one of the problems in the Black community, our community, is that the oversaturation of liquor stores in our community. And that's one of the problems. That's written in the Blueprint for Peace, 414 Life, for fighting those causes. So I'm not doing anything that other people that haven't, it's written about what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We have to start somewhere.
Can I respond, please?
Everybody's responsible for their community. Yeah. And this is something that the people in our community says that they've had enough of. This is not about Vince, Tony.
Can I respond, please?
Yeah, Sean, you'll get your shot. You'll get your shot. Of course, you know that.
And what I would say about the meeting tomorrow, I don't have an agenda. As a matter of fact, only 98 people in a district of 39,000 people have been notified that this is happening. So I don't stand a chance. I don't have a voice tomorrow down there. And the reason that the meeting was postponed is because the police department was not there to give their report. So in essence, it's going to boil down to, because we don't have the numbers there, and we're not going to have the numbers there tomorrow. The meeting tomorrow that's going to determine whether or not his liquor license is revoked is the police department report and other individuals, specifically Sean Moore, because he has information that other people don't have. Those are the 2 pivotal things that are going to be said tomorrow. That's going to possibly get in the way of them getting their license. However, I'm not going to say that people not going to call in, because other people, Sunday or Monday, I went out and I printed up some flyers, and I tried to take them around, as many as I possibly could, around the community to allow people to know. And there was a lady at the meeting yesterday said, had not it been for me, she would have not even known that there was a meeting, but the meeting had already took place. So, over what 95% of the community doesn't even know that there was a meeting already.
And if this was as big a concern as we say, wouldn't they already be looking for this? I mean, that place, because Sean said 90% of the crime in Wisconsin come from the hotspot. Well, he
I did not say Wisconsin, dude.
He said okay. He said Milwaukee.
Can I respond to this, please?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Because you made a very poignant point there, Vince. When you said that you became Black Watch captain and then you moved it out of the park in what was it, 2015?
I don't remember the year.
Okay, so around that time is when we started working in the community, and we were holding events in that same park and nobody got hurt. What you did was you isolated the rest of that community. When you separated them and you removed them from the park, right, what you did was you took them back to a little safe spot, and that became your society, right? And y'all try to separate yourself from the rest of the society. So, of course, your views are going to be slanted and different because you don't venture into that society anymore. So all you're doing is hearing about it, seeing it from afar, and listening to other people. I be in the community. Mama be in the community. There are beautiful people in that community, and that's why we fight for the community, right? I don't have a personal issue against Nael except with this legal stuff, but that's not why I'm opposing the store, right? You're opposing the store, and you don't even know what goes on up there, bro. And
I drive by there every day.
Right back to, hold on, let me finish. I'll let you finish, boss. Right? Once again, you go right back to I, me, what I did. Bro, this is a community, which means common unity, which means working together. You never want to work with me and Mama. We gonna keep this a buck. You told me that you wanted them young kids out the neighborhood, that you didn't like what they were doing, that you didn't want them in the community. They needed to be out the community. And I told you that wasn't gonna happen. So let's keep it a buck, bro. If we gonna keep it a buck.
Okay, can I speak now?
Me and you want the same things, right? But it's for the different reasons, boss.
Carlos,
mine ain't about my own satisfaction. Huh?
I'm talking people trying to call in. Give me a second. I don't know why I'm not able to get a conference call. Go ahead, Sean.
It's not about my satisfaction, right? It's not. This lady on the phone, this hurts my heart to go against her because it was women like her that sacrificed for me and the kids that you don't want to mess with. So we really trying to save these kids, man. So ain't no separate from the community. Bro, you took 3 blocks and removed them from a community.
No. Can I speak now?
And we were clashing. But we want the same thing.
Can I speak?
That's because you didn't want to listen. It's your idea or nothing, Vince. It's your way or nothing, bro. And that's not how a community operates. That's not how a community grows. That's not how a community succeeds, man. It ain't about you. It ain't about the wrongs that have been done to you. It's not. So them people downtown mess over everybody.
All right,
but for
Vince,
you, it's like, come on, man.
Go ahead,
we
Vince.
don't do that.
In 2015, let me say this, that all of the Block Watch members are elders in the community. They've been here in the community 30 and 40 years. When I took over the Block Watch, they asked me, Vince, here's what we want to do. And they advocate, we want to go down to the Common Council, we want to advocate against the Hotspots liquor license. When the word got back to Ashante Hamilton, who had never been to any of our Block Watch meetings since I was the lead, and even before I became lead, he and Niall came to our Block Watch meeting, and they asked us to give them a chance. At the end of that meeting, the elders in that meeting voted to give him a chance. And we did 2015, 2016. We gave them a chance. The elders in the community say, let's give them a chance. And they voted, and the majority says give them a chance. So we gave them a chance. We didn't go down there. However, I did go down myself personally. I went down to the Common Council, and I said that here's what happened. Ashante Hamilton and Niall came to our meeting, and they asked the Block Watch to give them a chance to show that they can do better. Well, they didn't do better, and their liquor license came up for renewal. However, in 2016, their liquor license didn't come up for renewal. We called the Common Council. The Common Council told us that if someone called the police non-emergency number and they said that they called in as the nuisance, as the hotspot, if they didn't say the address, it wasn't recorded as a nuisance, meaning that they changed up for it. In the years before, you can call the non-emergency number, you say the hotspot, and they know what you're talking about. But they changed up, and in 2017 is the next opportunity that we had to go back down. And this isn't about me. This is about the people that I serve in the community as their Block Watch leaders, and these are the elders of our community. They're just as old as Mama Freeman. Okay. This isn't about Vince, Tony.
So look, I don't know what's up with my phone tonight. I can't really add people. I'm trying to add people, but I can't. So if you want to call in, now's the time. You got something to add, call in, and then I can put Sean on hold for a second. I guess I'll go back to the old school way. Yeah. So I just want for people to know, because the chat room is juking. Mama Jenkins says, I heard he charged those people more from their food for their food stamps than they eat. He gets cigarettes for their food stamps. So how is that helping the community? Ewalk the Great says it's got to be hard for a store owner to be a store owner when you expected to give lookouts daily. Now taking his liquor license will limit what he can do positive. Dion says, Vince, you got to move on from this issue because people will look at you as a one-dimensional candidate. Let me see. I don't know why my jig ain't jigging tonight. Is this Dion again?
No, it's Ruben. How you doing?
My brother Ruben Anderson. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, what's going on? Nothing out here, in this world. I just wanted to weigh in on, first of all, Sean, great argument. Definitely, Vince, great argument. They said some of the things that I plan to present tomorrow, some of these pictures that I have of, people who have been beat up in the hot spot. I'm also going to reintroduce this video that I have about this marijuana in the hot spot and talk about the health of the community. I heard him say, somebody say that, what did he say? He said, the man said, I got to continue to feed my family. I had this very conversation with this man. We talked for like 2 hours on the phone, and that's one of the things he ran past me. So I counter that by saying, what do you really deserve? In all the time that you have been in business, you can't produce one application from the community that someone has signed that you have employed anybody black inside your store who's been working behind that. You can't show that. Why continue to give you a liquor license when you know that it's destabilizing the black community? That whole area over there is infected. And we know this. So for those who said, we give out this and that, now you're speaking for Niall. I mean, Niall, whatever the food name, but you're speaking for him. You're not speaking for the community because a tree is known by its fruit, and we've seen it. We know what happened to Omar. We're introducing that tomorrow. So this man is without excuse. He don't deserve anything. And if you're thinking about the community and not your family, you wouldn't be selling pipes in your store. You wouldn't be selling all this other stuff that goes to help destabilize people and further their addiction. So I think he needs to go at the end of the day. And I plan to talk about that tomorrow. I just want to weigh in, bro. I really love this conversation tonight. It's coming across strong. He don't get no pass. If he don't get no pass, because we never get past it. When have our people ever got a pass? How many homicides have happened over there? Like you said, it's littered with dirt and filth. I was just over there the other day. The last time I was in town, I should say, just sitting outside the store for 2 days. So, I just want to bring that, bring that up, my brother. The man don't deserve anything. You need to go. And if you're going to talk about anything, let's talk about healing the community. And we can start to do that when we eliminate all this beer on every other corner. And you don't need no liquor. He got enough money. You ain't made a meal in all the time you've been in the game. You need to get out of it.
So the sentiment was, even from Mama Freeman, that if you don't live over there, you don't understand, because he feeds the poor. He helps people. It's not his fault. She said alcohol is not to blame. And this is a perspective of the community, because they even made the point. She even made the point by saying she was at the meeting yesterday and it was more people there in favor of him than it was against him. So, and Vince, Vince kind of talked about the availability of information, but that was her statement as a member of the community.
And that's cool, you know.
Hey,
She's coming from a different perspective. You know, I'm looking at all the complaints and things that I've received. So, you know, those are things that are important to me. You can feed anybody you want to, but the fact of the matter is, you had Omar beat up outside your store. You had other couple people beat up inside the store. You've been labeled a nuisance for a long time. So I don't care how much good you do, because the community is not healthy at all. And it may not contribute to alcohol, but the fact of the matter is, you feeding it to them. As long as you feeding it to our people, they're going to take it. So why don't we try to find and replace something, you know, replace that with something else? You know, I don't care what he's done, because he stood on the phone and lied to me for 4 hours straight. So 2 hours straight, I could say. So I know the man ain't real. I don't care about his family. Ask him, do he care about ours? Ask him, do he care about the kids, about the old man's family he had beat up in his store? I just sent the picture to Mother Jenkins. Ask about that. He don't care nothing about us, man.
Okay.
So I don't buy it. I thank for letting you listen. I thank for letting me have some time. You know, I ain't on it. I respect Mother Freeman, but at the end of the day, all these people ain't lying when they telling me all this stuff is going on there. And plus, I got proof myself. So you can counterfly it any way you want. Okay.
All right, got you, brother. Go ahead, Kamar.
All right, thanks, man.
No problem, man. Peace.
Hey, if I had a store and I was selling, if I had a store and I was selling drugs for Quest, I could stand to give a lot of food away too to the community. You know what I mean? But it's like you still ain't doing nothing good for the community. For one, that food you got ain't no good for the community. And for two, them drugs ain't no good for the community. I used to sell dope and feed the kids, but that don't mean I was doing right by the community.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, Sean, you said Mama Freeman wanted to speak, so I want to give her a chance to do so.
Thank you. May I?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Absolutely. Floor is yours.
What I'm trying to say is, what about us taking charge of our own children? If it wasn't no buyer, it wouldn't be no seller. And what I'm saying is, we're blaming him for the conduct of our own people. You know, it's those young people that are doing those things. You know, when he tried to wrestle them down in the store, and what I'm saying is that I too was against him. I was against him and went there to the store to assist not only them, but him, and show him, hey, this is what's going on. And he was trying to work with us. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not upholding him. I'm saying we can work with him, and we need to work with those family members that we know are going there. We got family members that we know do things that are wrong. Let's start there. Okay. Why not start there when you know your family is doing things that they shouldn't be doing?
Okay. I hear you. We hear that. Sean, did you want to did Ruben just talked about some stuff? Vince even said that you were an important part. You would be an important part of the discussion tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, man, I love my community, right? You know, I mean, I really love Garden Home, you know, and this lady on the phone, y'all have heard me speak about the mothers that helped raise me, right? She's one of those mothers. I mean, and Mama has a heart, man. Listen, if Jeffrey Dahmer walked down the street right now and asked for forgiveness, Mama gonna pray with him. The type of heart she has, right?
Right.
And but I'm gonna check him too.
Oh yeah, she gonna check him.
Don't you be eating people over here? You stop cooking.
You know what I
mean? Stop grilling dudes.
I don't know if I remember in 2015, she was profiled on CBS World News about the work we was doing in Garden Home, right? So everything I do, man, I really learned from her.
Okay.
And other mothers about community family, right? And you know,
But this community seems divided. I guess my whole point is this. This is all divided, and we're divided over, we're actually arguing. We're having an argument over the somebody who is not from our community, does not look like us, has infiltrated the community and become a part of it, but is always perpetual. But there's a perpetual negativity coming from where he's at. But the community split because I'm gonna let you respond. I'm gonna let you respond. Vince on one hand is saying, I'm looking at the overall community and I just want him removed because he's negative. Elements of the community is saying, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even be over here. Go back to where you was from. You said you separated the community. Y'all stopped coming to the park. This don't seem like a community to me. And this is the problem that we have, is that we're all over the place instead of on the same page. We're so far from being on the same page right now that, he's going to keep his liquor license because downtown they know they have no real unity. They don't know what they want. That's why we tell them what they want.
Yeah. See, and I was going to get to that, KB, because, you know, Vince, you've been over there since, what's that, 92?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been here since 69.
Mom. Nael, Daddy been there since the 80s.
Okay.
So it's a lot of, I understand those relationships that people have with the store. I do. But Nael, Daddy gone. And Mom Pain, you ain't going nowhere ever. I can't even drive you off the block. But Nael has lost control of that store, man. It's not the store of the 80s, where even if, you know, we was hustling too, but our neighborhood didn't look like that. Our neighborhood didn't behave like that.
It's always been pretty bad.
Our neighborhood didn't think like that.
Atkinson on a whole has been a problem for years.
Hey, ain't it the business? Ain't it the business responsibility to clean up around the store to make sure it got a safe spot?
Yeah, let me comment. Hey, Kamara, let me comment on that.
I want to say shout out to Antonio, Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum. Thank you for tuning in, Antonio. How you doing? Go ahead, Vince.
Let me comment on that. In 2019, when Ashante Hamilton said I had a personal vendetta against the guy from the hotspot, after that meeting, I started a project in the community where I purchased these quick picks and I give them out to around the community when I see people picking up paper with their hands. I don't want them to get stuck with anything. And the first person that I called was the hotspot. And I said, now can we meet? We met in the middle of the block. I said, hey, we have a disagreement about your liquor license, right? But here's an area that we can work in. Your storefront is one of the nastiest storefronts in the city. Can you fix that up? I gave him a quick pick. The man took care of business. That has been, over the last year, one of the cleanest storefronts in the community on that side of the street. He slipped a few times, but I'm willing to work with anybody. But I also told him, because of the liquor is poisoning our people, and you live in Franklin, these are Black people. That's my only concern, is that the liquor and what it does to our people when it's doing to the community. I pick up bottles of liquor up and down the block all day long in the community.
Okay.
So I tried to work with them. I work with them. Period.
What's up, Ewok? You on the line?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
What's popping?
Man, I want to say this, man. I put it in the chat room too. Man, if a multimillionaire Black man bought the hotspot and put better food in there and did whatever else you asking for, the people in the community still gonna be out there unless he called the police 50 times a day on them niggas. They still gonna stand out there. They still gonna get their beer from somewhere else. They like being in front of that stove. That's their spot. That's where they gonna be. That's what they do. So taking that man liquor license away that ain't the problem solver. You know what I'm saying? I think Mama Freeman said it's the community. The people got to fix themselves. They got to not want to be out there drinking beer in front of the stove.
But I don't think we can deny. I don't think we
blaming liquor on everything ain't going to do it.
I don't think we can deny that a liquor store, a corner liquor store, attracts a certain element. Let's not pretend like that brings a certain. You name a liquor store where there's a bunch of people hanging out in front of.
How many liquor stores in the city don't got
every store in the United States of America that got something in it? Shit. I mean, any store that got anything in it is gonna bring an element.
Nah, not like a liquor store.
So why
though.
focus on this one spot?
It's because you got to start somewhere. Go ahead, Kamar.
A little while ago, I just asked, ain't it the store's responsibility to make sure all that riffraff ain't shit ain't going on around? You know what I mean? So they can have a safe environment for people to come to buy their stuff or whatever it is. But then I'm just now saying, like y'all was talking about all the liquor stores and stuff gonna have people hanging out. Shit, it's a million liquor stores out here that don't got a gang of people hanging out in front of the store selling dope, busting people over their head and all kind of shit, and selling drugs out the store, you know what I mean, for Quest. So the people with Quest can come near and buy drugs instead of food, what they supposed to be getting in the grocery store. Right? So ain't it the store's responsibility?
We ain't talking about the grocery, the franchise liquor stores, okay?
I ain't talking about no franchise liquor store. I'm just talking about liquor stores, period. It's a bunch of liquor stores that ain't got no bunch of people. You can't go stand in front of a bunch of liquor stores because they're going to come outside and regulate.
The one at Walmart, nigga ain't going to stand out there all day because Walmart is a franchise liquor store.
And that's
you ain't going to stand out there because the police coming.
That's my point.
Okay,
they ain't gonna stand out there because Walmart gonna stand on that shit and call the police, and they ain't gonna let them stand out there. That's my whole point. It's the store responsibility to make sure that they got an environment safe for the community.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 for the store owner though too, Kamar. You know, it's a catch-22 for that too, because you know you got to be every day with these people who like getting their 40s.
So what?
It's like the Vienna Mini Mart where me and you used to be by. You know, people used to hang out there too. That's what people used to come and get their shit from.
What used to happen? What used to happen when we was out there?
Let's not talk.
What they did when we was out there, they called the police.
Yeah, I'm listening.
What happened when the police came? We moved the fuck around every time.
But it's also the stores in that area.
And eventually, guess what happened? We moved around for good.
No doubt.
That's what happened. That's all I'm saying right now. It's the store's responsibility.
Well, shit. I think people have stopped getting down like that and shit by the time everybody moves around.
That store ain't gonna do it because they selling drugs to the people outside that's selling drugs and shit.
Okay, so
I mean, yeah, it's an element, man. It's like a balancing act, though. You know, you gotta sit there and be worried about the gangsters out there trying to do something to you. So, and you gotta call the police at the same time. So they gotta balance it. Like, damn, what do I do? This dude cool, but he want to sell his sack, but the police don't want these cats out here. Man, it's hell of a job to be that store owner, man. To tell the truth.
That store owner don't need to be there.
All right, so let me catch my chat room.
We need a store owner in there that's beneficial for the community.
Let me catch the chat room. Joey Phillips, how you doing, my brother? He says that store only gives a fuck about those who don't want shit, ain't gonna be shit, and the people that are stuck in life and satisfied where they are, where they're at.
Stop making excuses.
He said hashtag government/food stamp folks that are trained to use that store like it's Piggly Wiggly. So Joey is echoing the sentiment that it brings a negative element. It attracts, the way it operates brings a negative element. Mama Jenkins says liquor and drugs. Don't you think that the police should take a better have a better presence? I think that's what she's saying. Let me see. Antonia's agreeing with Kamar. Sean says, don't nobody stand in front of the liquor store on Fond du Lac off Roosevelt Ewok.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Mama Jenkins said that store got security. She says it has security. Now, Ewok hung up. I got his point as well. He was saying that the owner is tough to be in that position, but Kamar is saying, well, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Yeah. What I'm saying is that it's sad that once again, the black community is divided. So even when you come with an ask and you say, what do y'all want us to do? You got one side that say, no, leave them alone. And the other side that says, shut them down. Man. That equals paralysis by analysis. That means we ain't going nowhere fast because we still ain't on code, ain't on the same page, and ain't moving in the same direction.
I thought the idea was getting better and doing better.
I mean, if the argument is he's not responsible for what's going on, or are we just going to
let all the riffraff and all that shit go on?
Well, the response is that they're not doing anything. Is the community? It's not their fault.
Kevin, can I say this? We're not asking for him. We're not asking for him to leave. His liquor license will possibly be suspended for a year. He can get it back. He doesn't have to leave, but he's saying to us that if he doesn't sell liquor in our community, he can't feed his 6 children. He's got to sell liquor. It started out, his family started off as a food store. It evolved to the liquor.
Okay. So many different ways, man. So many different layers is what I'm saying. Sean Moore, you still with us?
At some point, we got to quit making excuses for each other and shit.
I think the bottom line is this is not about Vince Toney. Tomorrow, the meeting was canceled because the police department representation wasn't there. The Common Council wanted a report from the police department. They didn't want a report from Vince Toney. And Sean Moore has a report and the police department has a report. Those are going to be the determining factors of whether or not that man keeps his liquor license. Not anything Vince Toney did. The only thing that I'm saying is that the community needs to be notified. If there's 3,900 people in the neighborhood, then 3,900 people that live in the Garden Homes area needs to know that this meeting is taking place. Only 98 people were informed. And these are the apartment people. They don't have a vested interest. You have people that have homes and they bought homes over there. Why aren't those people notified? I'm on a different issue. My issue is the Common Council helping us as a community to combat some of these things that we're doing. Now, my contribution, I've worked in child protective services for 8 years. I work for homeless veterans. I work for Milwaukee Mental Health Institution. I work for Running Rebels. I give back. I volunteer weekly. I'm giving back to the community every day as much as I possibly can because I love Black people. And there's no way in hell that I want to move and live in a white neighborhood. Come down our block and looks like the Black suburbs. We take care of business.
Well, Sean said y'all ain't got no action over there. That's why.
What kind of action do we have?
He said it ain't popping over there. It ain't cracking. Sean, I never.
What does that mean?
You said bring me back in.
What does that mean?
You're still on the line. That means that it's not shaking. And you know, people ain't coming over there because it's, I guess, I don't know if he meant because it's old people or because it's just not, there's nothing over there happening. Sean, you should still be in here. So you saying bring you back in.
It happens though, because we had people, our block watch, when we have our block watch meeting, the police department comes to our meetings. Somebody moved next door to me and the police said, be careful with the people move next door to you. There's some sex trafficking going on. And not long after that, maybe a half a month, maybe 6-7 months, some people, yeah, and people, they came over there shooting at that house. The bullets went across the street, landed in the iron while the mother's daughter is ironing. So we get fire over there. We just got somebody shot down the block when my son was here last year. There was a homicide. It's so
it is cracking everywhere. Over there. It is lit over there.
No.
That's cracking.
Let's identify your area, right? You are on the west side of 27th Street. That's where you stop at. Back to like 30th. You don't go past, what is that? Congress, mama? Yeah, Congress towards Atkinson, right? You don't patrol. Y'all don't go past that. That's your area. Down to Hope, and a lot of that is like cut off.
The police come by my house all the time for video.
And hold on, let me finish. The last time somebody got shot in that area and what I just identified, that came from Atkinson, and that was around the corner almost from Atkinson. The last shooting happened down the street towards Hope. You don't go down that far then on 27th Street.
Let me say this. There was a shooting on my block last week. Evidently, there was a high-speed chase. 2 guys got into it. They came and they pulled on my block, and they started firing at each other. They hit my neighbor's car with bullets. We got a bunch of kids in our block. On in the 4200 block of 27th Street, there was some stabbings over there. Last week, there was some kids that were firing at each other, running down the street. It's hot over there, bro. Don't tell me what it's not.
But ain't we splitting hairs though? Because now we arguing about it sound like gang members.
No, but
like you
don't. The point I'm trying to make, brother, is if come up towards Atkinson and get to know them cats. Well, it might be too late now, but you know, to get involved, you got to be involved.
But why would it be too late to come up to people and say, "Listen, I'm a homeowner. I've been over here for 20-some years. All I'm trying to do is look out for the community." And you telling me they're gonna turn around and say, "Get the fuck out of here"? Like,
can I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Please
can
do.
I say something?
Please do.
I have actually taken guns from people. Actually done it many times.
Okay.
I walk up to them and say, "Hey, come on, let me have the gun."
Okay.
I've done that.
But I just feel like Sean's argument is Vince is not as strong an advocate because he feels like he only represents part of the neighborhood. I'm saying if he's saying I'm looking at the big picture, I don't understand why he wouldn't be held like, okay, well, you got your voice.
That's not what I'm saying, man. For that area, that works, right? But when you make statements like, well, I don't want the youth in the community, and you don't, you know, you don't come into the community, so you'll take your party on Roosevelt. It's supposed to be a community party, right? The people on Atkinson, they're not invited.
Yes, they are. Felicia comes to our meeting.
When we throw something in the park, we invite the whole community.
And when we had our block watch cookouts,
feel like this ain't me speaking. This is how the people upstairs feel. I heard it.
Hold on once. I got Ruben. Sean, I want you to finish because I think Ruben has something, and I don't know why I can't do my conference call thing tonight. I don't understand. This is really annoying me.
I to their block watch. So I spoke with the people at DRS about getting them young cats jobs, how they can get jobs. And so, you know, bro, I'm not saying that he's not a good advocate, right? I'm saying he's a great advocate for that area. You know, I understand that, you know, he's a little older and that's not his crowd. But don't separate yourself and then critique them without interacting with them.
We got members throughout the community.
You can't say, well, we're gonna throw away all the trash, right? Except for the trash in my house.
I don't understand what you're saying.
There's trash throughout the community, right? There's young people throughout the community. You know, shit. Let's work with them. So when we had the safe zone, he never knocked us, but hell, he didn't interact with us either.
Go to the Maroof Center and ask them how many times I volunteered to hand out food and I work with those kids over there.
I was summer, at the White House too volunteering though.
No, I'm talking about Maroof Center.
I keep hearing I'm sorry, from everybody. Now it's contagious. Now it's contagious. Now it's contagious because I believe one of the original things was Vince is making it about himself. Is I. Not everybody's saying I.
I'm speaking about I'm representing Mama. I'm representing Michael.
Hold on, Sean. Give me a second. Is this Ruben?
Yeah. I just got a quick comment, man, if you don't mind. I really don't mean to interrupt you. And I guess it's for Mother Freeman. I'm just sitting here reviewing my notes and I'm listening to things. I would like to know from Mother Freeman, and this is not an attack on you, it's just a question to you. When Sean was initially going through all this mess, a young man sat up there and explained on tape everything that this guy at this store has been doing and how he has been using people and how he was trying to get Sean in trouble. He made this recording at your house, and I asked you, just for the life of me, what made you decide to go against the grain now and support him? Because that's what I heard coming out of her mouth. And I just want to know that because there's a lot going on.
Okay, his phone dropped. Sean, can you hear us? Oh boy. Sean Mo, breaker 19. I don't know. My phone is doing the goofy tonight, man. I'm not the conspiracy theorist, but something is strange here. Go ahead, Kamar.
I was just talking about, you know what I mean? I'm not from that community and I'm listening to both. I hear everybody point and I agree with everybody. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody got their own angle. You know what I mean? That they fighting from. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the same side. And I just can't get off of, you know what I mean? When I think back, like me and Ewok was just talking, you know what I mean? Ewok we used to be out hanging out together, you know what I mean? And like it was the stores that would be coming out regulating that shit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know y'all can't be out here. And if we don't move around, the police pull up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody wind up going to jail and you know what I mean? And that would happen. And eventually it wasn't no motherfucker out there no more because everybody got tired of getting fucked with and ran from around there. You know what I'm
people
saying?
say, you know, the stove hot. Don't be out there.
Exactly.
The
you know what I mean? And this is my point. You know what I mean? So really it is on the store owner. We shouldn't be like taking up for dude like everybody else. And we all agree they don't look like us. They ain't, you know what I mean, really putting nothing into the community but bullshit. Like the food that's sitting there is rotten, it's processed, all that shit, ain't none of that shit good for us. You know what I mean? The drugs they selling out the motherfucker, that's some bullshit too. You know what I'm saying? The whole demonstration. The people that they letting hang out there is bullshit too. You know what I'm saying? We talk about how we got some of us who feel like there's issues going on with them and the older people. You know what I mean? That's some more bull. So it's like, we banging on each other, but really we should be banging on this store owner.
Right. That's okay. That's where I want to kind of pause because we don't have all night, right? And I had like 30 other things I was going to talk about tonight, but it's all good because this is a very important conversation. So I don't mind everybody having some input. Once again, my take on this is that it's sad that in a community where we have obviously a very negative entity, right, that is responsible or at least implicated or complicit with a lot of bad things, that community still cannot get together. All of this is much to do about none because now we're hearing that there's an element that he is in good with that are going to go down there and say, don't take his license, which leaves us right back at step zero. Because at the and then there's hurt feelings and there's people upset, and now we've taken sides, and now Vince got an area and Sean got an area, and so it becomes like civil war. Like, I mean, it's just like, damn, this is why I say we need to get on the same page. That Mama Jenkins says those motherfuckers got a seat on the side of the store. They run up on your cars asking you what you want. So they have to know what's going on. I guess that's her point. Jesse says we used to have a store in my old neighborhood in Denver called Ben's Market, just like the hotspot, and it was run by Arabs. It got shut down like 2 or 3 years ago. Sean Moore said, I'm not riding with the store. Okay. Right. You're against it. But you got love for people who are for it. Right. And so once again, we're split. We're divided. He said they got to go. They got to go. Okay. So listen, man. Let me see if I can get Sean because I want him to be able to have his closing remarks. I want to make sure everybody's represented on Outlaw Radio. Sean, let's start to wrap it up.
Okay, so let me straighten something.
Okay.
Right? I said I love Mama and that it hurts me to go against her. I didn't say that I want the store to stay.
I didn't say you did. Nobody said you did. I think you made the point that you wanted it closed. Nobody said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nah. You know, I love Mama. I love all of them. You know, I'm probably cool with most of the people that's supporting the store.
Another weird thing, Sean, is you and Vince agree that the store should be removed, and Mama Freeman says it should be open, but both of y'all are against Vince. That's weird.
It's not.
Ain't that weird? Am I the only one? Is that not strange? I think anybody listens to the show like, I don't know who is against who.
It's against. let me explain it. It's against Vince's presentation at times, bro. You know, it's just not, bro. It's not conducive to growth, man. He run people off.
I mean, I think certain people are always going to be pushed away. Like certain people are always going to feel a certain type of way.
Okay.
Let me stop though, because you already said I covered for him. So let me stop, because he's sitting here. I don't have to. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to do that. It's my bad. Let me step back.
All right.
Go.
Let me say this: is that I've worked with Eden Corporation. I work with DRS. DRS is leaving the community. They're taking away over 500 livable wage paying jobs from them. When Nas says that he's hiring a few people, I tried to work with DRS. I went down to DRS and I said, you guys are taking these jobs to Menominee Falls. Can you leave a satellite office here? The executives there said they couldn't leave a satellite office there because the building was sold. I'm working with the entire community. I'm not just on this one issue. This one issue comes up once a year. Throughout the year, I'm looking at business. How can we bring more businesses in this community? We're working with the 30th Street Corridor, Northwest Side CDC. In 2021, before Barrett left here, he said all of those houses over there by the hotspot were refurbished. None of them are refurbished right now. So Willie Smith with Northwest Side CDC, Cheryl Blue with 30th Street Corridor. You don't see this. I'm behind the scenes working with people trying to better our community so the kids and the elders can have a quality of life that's worth living, and they don't have to worry about a bullet coming in their house. That's what we all need to be working on. I'm not doing this by myself. Everything that I've done, the elders in my community throw me out. Vince, you're their block watch lead. Here's what we want you to do. I'm not doing what Vince Tony wants to do. I'm doing what my elders are asking me to do.
Okay, Mama Freeman, I want to allow you to, finish, put a cap on yours, on your perspective as well. Thank you for coming. Honored to have you here. I know you're a person who is a staple in the community, and I've heard great things about you. So I want to allow you to be able to kind of give your closing statements as we get ready to cut the machine off.
I appreciate the opportunity. I've been here since 1969, and I love this community. There was nothing but beautiful flowers and green grass and fruit trees when I came with my 5 children. When my kids got into things that they weren't supposed to be in, I held them responsible. They are now not in that kind of thing. And what I'm saying is that we people need to take responsibility for our own people. That's what we need to do. Instead of blaming somebody else. We want to do what we do in our homes. We want to do what we do in our yards. So does these people who have put these businesses together. We need to work together. And it starts with us raising up our own children, our own family members. It's not Puerto Ricans or Mexicans that's going over in that store. All of the street that has my name on it, it's more things going on that street than any other street in this community. And yes, I called the police. The police are there, but we need people that are going to work there, not people like, and Mr. Tony is okay with me until there's time for an election and he wants to be the alderman. But you got to come out and get to know the people. You got to work with the people. They're not that hard to work with. I went over there today and I told all of those young boys, clear this area, and they were gone just like that. You don't have to be a mastermind to be able to talk to people. If you love a community, let's work with it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. We need to come together and work with our own family. It's them that's causing the problem. It was flowers here and white people when I moved here.
Okay.
And thank you for the opportunity.
No doubt. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you here. Come back anytime. Sean, shout out to you, Sean, for bringing Mama Freeman. Shout out to everybody, man. First of all, I want to say I want to thank everybody for at least being respectful. A couple times people got a little rowdy, right? But it's been a respectful conversation. I pride myself by the fact that we can have these conversations on Outlaw Radio, and ain't nobody got to be a motherfucker or a son of a bitch or I beat your ass or none of that. And what the main thing here is that important points were made. But the main point is we need to be more unified. We need a unified front that's going to be able to put personal small things aside. My involvement in any grassroots organization I was disillusioned by it because I saw a bunch of people who wanted the same thing but couldn't stand together because of small issues. It's the same reason I've always in my mind wished that the Baptist Church and the Nation of Islam could get together and not worry about who ate pork and just focused on the big picture, right? This is the way we go. So I hope if anybody took anything from this show tonight, I hope it's that we all have an opinion, and that's fine. And we all have a perception. But sometimes we got to just ride. We got to ride for the cause. And I love the way Minister Farrakhan said it. He said, we ain't going to argue about religion because we don't know what the hell it means anyways. We'll argue about that when we get free. And that's what we need to worry about now is getting some justice and getting some progress. And then we can go and argue amongst ourselves. After we've removed negativity, then we can sit down and say, well, you don't come over here. You don't come over there. Well, forget you. And then shake hands and go home. And that's the way we need to have it. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming, man. I want to wrap up with the crew. Kamar, Wednesday, summertime. My garden is blooming. I can't wait to put these collard greens in a pot. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, I got all kinds of beautiful stuff growing in my yard. What you got popping this weekend?
Okay, well, this weekend, Saturday, I'll be at the Friday market from 8 to 12, and then I'll be down at Garfield Days. I'll be vending down there from 1 to about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay. Holler at that man if you out and about. It's a lot going on, a lot of festivals. So if you out, stop.
Hold on, man. I got one more plug to throw out there. I ain't talking about it all show. August 5th, we got a soft opening at the Sherman Phoenix, the House of Vitality, y'all. Come on down here and get one of these fresh tropical smoothies or one of these very delicious teas.
Right, you sounded like the monster truck commercial at first. I thought you, Saturday night at the Mecca. Fonzarelli, I know you got a lot of things crackulating. What's popping? What you got going, man?
Oh man, just like I said, still working on my book, still running up my TikTok. As far as this weekend, I just plan on brewing up some watermelon wine this weekend. Okay. So I'm gonna try that out, see how that turned out.
Okay. Well, you know, if you need a guinea pig or whatever, what have you, whatnot, things of that nature. My brother Vince, thank you for coming, man. You know, it's always a pleasure when players meet. And people say I cover for you. Oh, that's your guy. Whatever. I mean, everybody know you my guy, so it doesn't matter. But what you got? I know you're gonna be at this meeting tomorrow. And I know you're gonna continue to be an advocate. You get mad, you get in your feelings. You say, I'm done, Kevin. I'm moving to Guam. Fuck Milwaukee. And then you come back with renewed energy from walking on the beach and playing in the hurricane. So what you got coming up this week?
I'll probably be down in Chicago with a car show in Illinois. But I mostly tomorrow I don't have very much to say tomorrow because not very many people in the district know about this. So it's not on me, and it's on others to make that point, to advocate for what they want, and the outcome is going to be what it is. But like you said, Kevin, we're all Black. We have a responsibility to work together for the good of the common good of all of us. And until we do that, not very much is going to change because there's been the numerous shootings around my area, and it's not getting any better. And it's everybody shooting at everybody. So somehow or another, we have to find some peace and prosperity amongst ourselves.
Absolutely, man. With all the things going on in the city, it's enough issues where everybody can pick one and just work their angle. But just because I'm working on something different from you doesn't mean that I'm your enemy or your opposition or your competition. Amen. So we got to really learn about the spirit of unity and solidarity. I always talk about the 3 S's on the show when you talk about, well, how do you solve the Black community's ills? Where there's three S's. There's separatism, there's sovereignty, and there's solidarity. 2 of those we ain't ready for. Right. One of them we can get to right away if we focus. If we can just let go of small things, man, and be united, right? You make more impact with a fist than you do with an open hand slap, even though an open hand slap is more offensive, right? So it's just about us getting together, man. And to anybody out there who's going to make excuses about why they're not going to make any kind of moves towards something positive or why they ain't going to participate in any movement to shut this city down and show them we can talk with our dollars. And until they get right, then we can be real tight with our money. And there's people who want to do that. But if you're not the type of person who wants to do that, it shows me that you ain't really committed or on the same page as the rest of us. And in the words of Willie D, your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should pull out. I see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love.
Well,